Okay, lesson 2. I want to carry on with some of this intervallic stuff, especially with the sixths. In the last lesson, I kind of talked to you a bit about how you might think of these in terms of a chord scale. This time around, I just want to have a little fun with it and show you some common riffs with using sixth patterns, all right? And in this case, I'm thinking of an E, sort of an E blues progression, all right? And I'm going to start out with what, in most cases, a lot of people might think of was an E7 chord, right? All right, with those two notes. It happens to be an interval of a sixth between those two notes. So, here we go with a sixth type of riff. That's the way I think of it. If I hit that one, the next chord, I've got a minor shape. It kind of reminds me of that F sharp minor 7. The next chord is like a G chord. So my chord progression is sort of going E, F sharp minor, G, which doesn't really sound like it should work. But when we do it as sixths, it sounds great. You've certainly heard this. Okay? Once again, I have to adjust for which finger is going where, and in this situation, I'm going to choose my first finger to be my leading finger. I'm going to keep that finger on the string at all times. When I go to the next chord, it's still there, it just moved up a fret, but this time I bring in my third finger. For the next chord after that, I still got my first finger, but this time I brought my second finger back in. So this progression, okay? Now, if we want to play the 4 chord in this kind of a progression, we come over here to what would look like an A7 shape, but I'm thinking of it as sixths, all right? I've got the A chord, I've got what might be considered a B minor chord, and then a C chord. You might think of these shapes as the A minor shape, or I'm sorry, you might think of these shapes as the A shape, the A7 shape, the B minor, the C major, okay? Really what's going on here, it's not really that it's the B minor in between, it's really more of a D over F sharp kind of chord, okay? But we don't need to cloudy up the music theory that much with it, all right? To me, visually, it kind of feels more, or looks more like it's an A B minor, and a C, and so I can more easily visualize that shape. So A, okay? So I go back and forth between those two. Okay? When we get to the 5 chord and this kind of thing, a lot of times you want to just throw in a B7 chord, and then you're back to your E chord again. Alright? Another thing that you might sometimes want to do with this kind of thing is go up the neck. Alright? So if I take that E shape, okay? Okay. Now when I look at what I've just done here, I did not follow a clean E major scale or an E minor scale. It kind of comes out modal when I do this. But I've gone through this a lot of times, and this is what to me sounds right for a lot of things. Okay? Okay? So you can find your way up the scale or up the neck without really having to worry so much about, well, what scale is it, what key is it? Just find the ones that sound cool. And what you're really looking at is you've basically got 2 different shapes. All right? You've got what I like to think of as a major shape and what I like to think of as a minor shape. Again, I'm only thinking of them that way for visualization. It just seems to be easier to visualize them that way. When I come over here to that A shape, the shapes are slightly different, but again, we've got a major shape and a minor shape. Alright? So you kind of get used to fooling around with those and you'll have some fun. Here's like, straight out of the solo in the middle of Heartbreaker. Jimmy Page was playing around with those things, all right? Intervals like this, they're a lot of fun. and you can find ways to get them in there, you want to dig into a little bit of analysis on your fretboard to really find where you're at with these, all right? To find the ones that work. For me, the E and the A work real easily, and some of the others are a little bit trickier, but so what? I use them in the songs that are E and A, and I don't really worry about them any other places, all right? Cool. That's a whole bunch of fun stuff with intervals. Enjoy it.